Welcome back to the Inting Podcast. We have a very special guest, TSM FTX Wheels.
Hello. How's it going? I don't know how your intros go.
No, you just introduce
About
yourself.
it. I think we wing it every
yeah,
episode.
we just wing it.
You wing it every episode.
Every
That's
episode.
great. Oh my god. Well, I'm Wheel. Hi, everyone. I currently work at TSM as like a creative. I do mainly everything when it comes to directing, writing, producing, editing, whatever needs to be done at any given week.
Oh, okay. So, like, what's the day-to-day life when it comes to like your? I know it's like a big question, but like, what's usually how is it like? Do you usually manage a lot of the time? Because you say you do everything, but how do you like manage that when it comes to at TSM, especially?
It depends on the projects. So some weeks I'm working on like one specific project that's like a really big project. And then other weeks I'm working on like challenge videos. It's a week by week basis. We can only plan but so much ahead because you never know what's gonna happen. So each week mine is different, but typically what happens is I come to the office and then just figure out the work I need to get done, whether that be admin work or editing or writing concepts or hopping in meetings. So my weeks are structured more like that than me just doing whatever I want, if that makes sense.
No,
Okay.
that's fair. So when you say a big project, for example, if there's like a big roster move, right, and you have guys make a big hype video, but then someone goes with like, all right, it's leaked that this person's going, does that like ruin it in a way?
Yeah, it does. I'm an advocate for like all these journalists leaking stuff because you're just like it's just ruining the hype at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But then again, like I mean, someone did give me a good example of like G2's video. Like they put a lot of hype into it,
Yeah.
so like people were still hype about it. But it's still like guys, like we want to control like the narrative, obviously. But then the media has their own narrative. They want to be the first ones to do it just so they can get their impressions in. But for the most part, when it comes to like leak stuff, I mean, we try to keep it to little as no people in the org knows, but leaks get out. There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, because I mean, we're an esports podcast, so we talk about mainly Valorant. So we always like Valorant rosters are always being leaked and just always talking.
Yeah, you don't know how they get leaked.
Insider information.
Insider information.
No, it's not insider information. It's very easy, actually.
It's just through Twitter. I just see it through like someone through George.
No, talking to the Valorant guys, how they do it is there's no privacy mode in Valorant. So if you're friends with a pro,
and they
like a lot of
change
these,
their name or something.
They don't change. No, they don't change their name, but like they'll see that they're scrimming, and then they'll see who's on their team scrimming. Yeah,
interesting.
Or at least that's what I was told, and how it all goes down.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
It's like because like you're like I mean I know pros they like hide the scrims, so like they have the custom, so you can't really see who they're scrimming by the end of it, but you can while they're scrimming you can see it, so it is annoying.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's a process of elimination. People are crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, people want to know and stuff. And then plus on top of that, Valorant makes you submit a roster like weeks in advance. So like sometimes like Oregon leaks get that way. Like, hey, we're playing with this substitute, quote unquote. You know.
So what when it comes to anything else for like content creation, do you enjoy more of the Valorant like not Valorant, but like your esports roster? Do you enjoy making that hype video, or do you make more content creation? What do you think was more of fun for you?
I think they're both fun in each aspect. When it comes to it, like obviously building a hype video around a certain roster or doing a storytelling is super fun, super rewarding. But for me, for the most part, I'm not like I'm directly involved with the teams, but like more at I don't want to say surface level, but like more at like if they need me to help out, we have people that like are dedicated to teams. And so for the most part, I'll just help out like where I can, like, oh, you want me on set doing this? Okay, sounds good. But then like the challenge videos on top of it, like those are also super fun because you get to actually see the guy's personality. You get to see what they enjoy, what they don't enjoy. You also get to see where fans' headspaces are at when it comes to the actual challenge itself. But like I enjoy both. I just enjoy making. Am I allowed to curse on here? I don't know.
Yeah, fuck, shit,
go for it.
Anything. You can say anything.
I just love doing. I just love doing dope shit.
Yeah.
So, and I've told my boss that I'm like, I just want to do dope shit, and we have a video coming out. I don't know when this comes out, but next week it's like
it comes out
biggest
every Wednesday. So next Wednesday, this will probably come out.
It'll probably be out by then, but I don't want to leak it just in
okay.
case I don't want to get in trouble.
No, that's fine.
But it's one of the biggest projects I've ever worked on. As far as like the amount of like prep work that went into it, like I was in meetings for 2 weeks straight. Like by the time I got into the office, by the time I left, it was straight up meetings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
do you have control freedoms? Like, you know what, we're gonna do this challenge. Like, fuck it, we're just gonna do it. Just because you said you enjoy it so much, but or do you have like you have people around you be like, hey, maybe we should try to do something else. Maybe this. When it comes
it's not just me. It's not just me. I mean, we obviously do our research. We look at what other teams are doing. We obviously look at like, you know, what 100 Thieves are doing, what Liquid's doing, what Cloud9's doing, and then obviously seeing where like, because there's not a YouTube meta, but for the most part, it's more collaborative. I mean, we'll do our tried and true videos when it if we have to do something, but for the most part, we try to do it to where it's like a simple concept, but then like either have a twist to it or have like prize money to it, or but for the most part, it's not just me coming up with concepts. It's a bunch of different people that are coming up with these concepts. And then what we do is we come together, we look at all the concepts, and then we have like brainstorming meetings to where we will be like, okay, this concept's good. How can we expand on it? Or is this concept good to go? Kind of thing. Like we'll just bounce ideas off of each other. And then there'll just be some concepts I'm just like, yeah, that's a little bit weaker. We should probably put that more towards the bottom and get to it if we need to.
You guys make a tier list, essentially.
Yeah, basically. But I mean, at the end of the day, esports content is in a weird spot right now, and I'll just go ahead and admit it now. Because like people are trying to figure out if they want to do like the challenge videos or if they want to do like the storytelling aspect. And not only that, I mean, you can just look at like, I mean, obviously everyone's going to look at 100 Thieves when it comes down to their content, but like all their content is just 90 shows rehashed into YouTube challenge videos. Yeah. That's all it is. Yeah. You can't deny that. At all.
With 100 Thieves, I think they're just trying to be the first of it, because you know how they're doing a lot of collaboration with Gucci, and they're just trying to be so mainstream. Yeah. They're trying to. I think they just want to try to start a wave. I think that's how they're doing it. And I see. No, I've noticed other orgs
killing it.
Yeah, and I've noticed other orgs trying to copy them in that sense, of course, as well.
They're definitely killing it over there when it comes to content. I don't want to like bash on them or anything like that. I mean, they have a lot of resources. They have a lot of content creators in town. Like it's very, very systematic what they do.
Yeah, for sure. So how did you end up in the position you are now? Like, is that like, that's a very long question.
Yeah, did you like plan on being in like the esports scene, or were you kind of just like freelance creative directing or something, and you kind of just stumbled into it?
So if this comes out Wednesday, on Friday the 30th, I'll be turning 30. I graduated college 10 years ago. From Hallmark Institute of Photography, which I am a traditionally trained photographer when it comes to still lifes or portraits. And that's what I enjoy doing, is the photography aspect. But then there is the video aspect in my school. And so I started shooting a little bit more videos. And then for the next like 5 years, I was a studio manager at a couple of different places. And then one of my friends was like, yo, I'm starting a music video company. Do you want to come do sales for me and then help out on set? And I was like, sure, why not? So I worked with him for a little bit, and then eventually he moved to LA. I stayed back behind my hometown in Richmond. And then right around then is when I discovered Twitch. I was playing CSGO at the time, like super heavily. And that's when I discovered like all the CSGO stuff. Actually, I think this was 2015. Yeah. And then I started working with this guy named Jason R, who does a bunch of Valorant stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was doing YouTube videos with him. Then his team got picked up by Splice. And then I hit up Splice and was like, hey, I'm an editor. Can I come work for you, kind of thing? He's like, yeah, let's hop on a call. We'll figure something out. So I hopped in a call with my friend Till, who was like, okay, yeah, that sounds great. And then I just started making videos for them. Eventually got to the point to where I moved to California to be in the team house. And then from there, I moved to upstate New York, working at the up in the offices where the Splice offices were. Then eventually found my way at Optic. But while I was at Splice, my first year, I kind of got really lucky when it comes to like all the events that Splice were at. It was COD XP 2016. So Splice got second place in that. So that was super hype. And then about a month later, I shot Worlds 2016 for Splice. So I was able to do like all the big stuff really early on.
Yeah.
And then that's when I actually met Max, who's currently our art director here at TSM. So I met up with Max there, kept that connection for like four years, found myself at Optic. And then once the Infinite stuff and they were selling pieces off to wherever they sold it off to, I hit up Max, was like, hey, do you have something for me? Are you looking for editors? He was like, sure, let's hop on a call. Couple phone calls later, here I am at TSM. So like traditionally, I haven't had like I haven't like sought out going for esports. I enjoy esports. I enjoy watching esports. It's just something I've known for like the past 5-6 years that I've been in this industry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's another reason why we started the podcast. Essentially, it's like we talk about esports. It's like, why can't we just make something of it? So that's why I was like, I mean, there are esports podcasts, but I'm like, why not we just start one? It's just right now, it's just more of a passion project just to see where this goes.
No, I got you.
Yeah, and that's why we're just trying to get a bunch of other content. So I actually got Ali on my first ever episode. So I got.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know. She just said, yeah. I was so shocked. I'm like, wow, because I had like no background or anything. She just agreed to it, and then I got someone like George on and all that. So we're slowly trying to get more people, just because this is more of just a platform where you could just say whatever you want. You can talk about yourself. Just essentially, it's a brand.
Yeah.
It just expand your brand. That's what essentially what the podcast is for, and that's what we wanted it for. So have you?
No, you guys are doing good. This is the one area that esports needs to like not get into, but like kind of think about, because it's a platform that like a lot of people don't realize is really easy to maintain.
So slept on.
It's very slept on. Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
Is podcast, and that you can make a lot more money on podcast than you can on YouTube.
Yeah,
if you get up to it.
I know like growing is just the hard part, because for us, we can come on, just record, talk shit for like 40 minutes and then post it. But it's just more the outside, because we do have like TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. So we try to get more impressions on there just to for us to grow. Because right now this is just for fun at this point. But I mean,
no, it's all good.
Yeah. And then this is the same repetition for everybody we've talked about in esports. And it's like, oh, we never wanted it. This was never a main plan. Everyone just liked esports, and then they just got a job here.
Yeah.
That's always how it goes, and it's also all about who you know at the same time. Like I said, if I didn't go to Worlds 2016, I don't think I'd be at TSM right now, or it'd be harder for me to work at TSM. And like then all the networking opportunities that I've had in like the Call of Duty space and the Halo space, and not really the CS:GO space. I didn't really go to too many CS:GO events back in the day.
Yeah.
But like all the events that I go to, I pretty much network with as many people as possible.
Yeah, I hear that as a same thing over and over again. It's more who you know, not what you know. It's just like they don't care about your degree. They don't care about your background. It's just like, can you actually benefit us? It really feels like it. I don't know.
We have to show value. You just have to show value. At the end of the day, it's like, hey, I see you're missing this. I can do this. Do you want me to work for you? As simple as try to put that as simply as possible.
No, yeah. I mean, for end of the day, everyone wants to make money. It's just it's no hiding it. Everyone wants to make money. So when it comes to that, so
yeah. And go ahead.
No, you go.
No, it's all you, man.
No, it's just when you come up with ideas and you see other orgs, how is it more just friendly competition when it comes to like making better content than other orgs, or is it more just like we need to make content so we can pick up more content creators, more pro players, making it look like, hey, TSM is the best place for, instead of Liquid or 100 Thieves?
I think everyone's trying to do that. So it's like there's this unwritten or unspoken like competition between all of us when it comes down to who can push the bar the furthest. You're seeing a lot more esports teams now actually work on set. Like there's like 5 years ago, that was not a thing. I was shooting all these videos alone, And now I have like me as a director, I have an assistant director, I have a DP, I have a camera op, first AC, second AC, audio. I have everything like at my disposal, and like a lot more teams are doing that with like G2, 100 Thieves a little bit, doing all their stuff. But there is like, I mean, I look at other people's work and I'm just like that's cool. Like you guys killed it. Like 100 Thieves, little Nas thing. That was hype.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed that. But with that being said, people need to come down to the realization that that can't be the industry standard, if that makes sense. Like the
Yeah.
quality can be the industry standard, but there's no way I can go. Like us at TSM are going to reach out to like some huge artist. Like there has to be like there's like you have to eventually get there, but like it shouldn't be like a complete standard. But for the most part, a lot of these big orgs are doing amazing work. Not just us. I mean, I know in the past year we've completely upped our production. We started using red cameras. We started using like all this extra stuff that like I back in the day, like it was only a dream to start shooting with, and now I'm just using it on like most of my projects. I'm just like, okay, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, I could definitely see that with like with some of the content you guys are doing. With example, like the Rainbow Six and the Apex guys. Like I definitely noticed that with that, or like the Valorant roster when they were in for VCT when they came in for that stage final. That the production was very high. So like when you guys were just giving them a tour, it was just a tour and it just felt like so welcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, we've decided if we do like scripted stuff, like we do it pretty legitly over here. We don't do it to where it's like, a single camera, couple lights, and then like go from there. We do it. We actually plan it out to where it's like, all right, we're gonna do this, 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 and this. Like, all right, there's your day one. Day two is gonna be this, this, this. So it's very, very structured.
You got any questions?
What's your favorite part about being like a creative director?
Each week is different. Everything's new. I get to experiment a lot when it comes to like the weird ideas that I have. But it's just like I'm able to be creative when it comes to like either trying to sell something or trying to put like a hype video to it. It's just like I said, it's just each week is completely different from the last. Like the stuff that I was doing 6 months ago is completely different than what I'm doing today.
All right, but the
So
opposite
like
question.
that's always refresh. Go.
The opposite question. What do you hate the most about your job? That you can say.
Yeah. Obviously, like no, TSM is great to work for. It's just like I have to remember that it's like because there's always advantages and disadvantages from working alone to working with a team. The advantages of working alone is you dictate when the content comes out or like when you want to be done with it or like want to put it out. So it's basically you are the final person. You do everything, audio, graphics, color, the whole 9 yards. But then when you're working with a team, like I'll admit it, I'm not the best at everything, but I'm pretty decent at some things. But we have people that specialize in certain roles here at TSM. So I'm like, hey, can you do this? So a lot of the times it's just waiting. I have to just like because like sometimes I want to get things out like super quick or like be done with projects and move on to the next thing, but I have to wait.
Yeah.
So it's a lot longer of a process than I really want to, but it's not a bad thing. It's great because like there's a lot more eyes on it for when it comes to quality, and then for what like the audio or color on it. It's a lot better than what I could just produce myself.
Yeah.
No, that's for sure. Anything you gotta say to him?
I don't know. Maybe let's go back to the.
Our manager asked us a bunch of questions because it's usually 3 of us here, so we usually have like a third guy here, but because of Discord, he all picks up 2 audios. So he was just like ask a bunch of questions. Or hopefully soon enough we'll just get our own studio so we can bring people in person.
So, question from our manager is, yes, how much of the content are you like directly involved in making, like physically like working on, rather than just being like, hey, we need an audio guy to do this, or we need X video guy to do X task? Like how much stuff are you actually involved in doing?
For the most part, I'm involved. It depends on the project. Sometimes I'm involved like 100% of the time, or like where like I'm like just not telling people what to do, but asking. Like we have a couple people that like will coordinate for us, which is really great because like I don't like I'm like I need equipment for this. They're like, okay, we'll get it for you. Just tell us what you want. Um, but for the most part, like I'm involved a little bit, but like there's some projects that I'm just not involved with, and I just don't have to worry about it. Even
Mhm.
though in the back of my mind, I'm like, I wish I was on that project because looked sick to be a part of. I'll forever say it. Like the FTX stuff that we did, like that looked like a huge, like amazing project to be a part of, and I
Yeah.
just was not a part of it.
Oh, for real? Not
Um,
one part?
That's unfortunate.
the only thing I was a part of was the actual announcement video. I was the render supervisor, where I was at the facility until 5 a.m. rendering out the video, the final video, and then quality checking with my boss. So I got so that was the only thing I did during the video.
Okay.
But for the most part, I mean, we kind of keep it very structured when it comes to like if you're directing on something, like you'll have like either a DP or something, so you don't have to worry about like like they'll come up with some of their ideas. It's a lot of collaborative work.
Mm.
But it's like it's super helpful. Like a lot of the jobs that you would think that like aren't like I don't want to say like lower end, but like they're like extremely needed when it comes down to it.
Hmm.
So, if you were in the position right now, what else would you think you'd be doing minus working for TSM?
If I could do anything at TSM, so bye bye Andy, I am now CEO.
All right, you're the CEO. What's your first?
I'm just kidding. No, I don't want that. No.
For real?
No.
That
no.
sounds like a very
No,
high
fuck no.
stress, high intensity.
Yeah, I don't know. I like having a life. I like having. I think I'm the one of the few that has like work life separation when it comes to like working.
Mhm.
Like basically, once I leave the facility, I'm done working. Like I don't work at home or anything like that. I manage it like that. But to answer your question, if I could do anything at TSM, I mean, I'm basically already doing it. At the end of the day, like I'm one of the more senior people here. I'm in control of most of the projects that I'm involved with. When it comes to like directing, for the past like 6 months or so, I've been directing a little bit more, being able to work with clients and like partnership videos. Then yeah, that's a hard one because like I'm already doing exactly what I want to do.
Mhm.
There's a few things that I do want to start or implement at TSM, but I don't want to say it here because I don't want anyone to steal my ideas.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
So
Understand.
yeah,
We talked
Yeah.
about the unwritten rule of competition between everybody. Uh,
yeah. There's not really any competition here though. Like we pretty much all work pretty good together when it
Mhm.
comes to
yeah, I bet.
like working as a team.
Yeah. So because COVID's now hopefully gotten better and everybody, are you excited for any LAN events you want to attend?
I mean, obviously, I know about LAN events that you guys probably don't know about. But I want them to come back. I miss photographing them.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna. I don't know exactly what I'd be doing. Like I was in Mexico filming the R6 team. So enjoyed doing that. I enjoy going to events. I think I enjoy the idea of going to events, but then once I'm there, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna be so tired after this. I'm super old in this esports space now. I'm turning 30.
Don't
Mhm.
And,
say
like,
you're
that's still-
old. Don't say you're
That's
old. Don't say
That's
that.
old, dude. I can't keep up. Like my legs hurt at the end of the day. Like I need to sit
Come
down.
on, man.
Nah. I don't get me wrong. I love going to events and I miss them. Like I'm super happy that some of them are starting to come back. Like this Halo one that this past weekend looked like
Oh,
a
it
ton
was
of fun over in
crazy.
Raleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw that Worlds for leagues now got announced for NA now, so it's what, New York, San Francisco, Toronto, and Mexico, I believe that's one of them.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It starts in Mexico, goes Toronto, then
New York, and
New
then
York,
ends San
then
Francisco.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try to go to all of them if TSM
No.
of course goes?
I'll probably end up going to the San Francisco one. It just depends. for the most part, like when it comes to me, I don't like I said, I don't work directly with teams, but I'll like work with teams if that makes sense, like if it's
Yeah.
needed.
Mhm.
And you never know because like Riot has this rule or has had this rule during COVID where you're only allowed to send one person or you're only allowed to send two people. So we have to make the
Okay.
decision who's going to go. And at the end of the day, like the people that have been primarily working with the team are going to go.
Yeah.
Well, like we're just kind of just sitting there.
So when you go to LAN
Um,
events, are you in like work mode or are you like I'm just gonna enjoy the game for the most part? Because you say you don't work
uh,
outside of the facility for the most part.
no, I'm in work mode.
Yeah.
For the most part, like it's kind of weird to say, but I enjoy watching esports. I'll put it on if there's a tournament on, but I as for the most part, like I just do my job. Like at the end of the day, like I'm there to do a job, there to
Yeah.
capture either video or photos, whatever I'm there to do. Like I want to make sure I do the best that I can. And like, yeah, it is hard that I won't be able to watch some of the matches, but like if the team does get knocked out early and I have like an extra day or like half day and I'm just done working at that, then yeah, I'll watch the finals and such. But for the
Mhm.
most part, I'm 100% working the entire time.
So if someone's listening to this and wanted to be in your position or want to try to get in your position, what do you think?
Someone
What's
wants to
some
steal your job.
someone wants to steal your job? No, I'm kidding. With someone that wants to like try to achieve what you've achieved so far, what advice would you give them? Or what would you give 20-year-olds you advice, for example? You know what I mean?
I mean, there is definitely some advice that I wish I could go back on and give myself and just be like, it'll be okay. You'll eventually learn it later. Um, for the most part, when it comes to content creation, what I tell people is you have to answer the question, what do you want to do in the content space? Everyone loves the idea of being in the content space, but they don't understand that sometimes like there's specialized roles, and you probably should like maybe focus on like one or two things and not like a broad overview.
Mhm.
So for me, how I've always worked is I kind of know how to do everything. Um, but I wish I could just master one thing or like, really focus in on like one specific skill. Um, but that's not how I work. I enjoy doing different chaotic stuff where like either I'm learning live productions or I'm learning like camera opping, I'm learning directing. So for the most part, like I'm just continue doing what you're doing. Patience is always a big thing when it comes to
Mhm.
it because a lot of these
Mhm.
kids are young. They're like 19, 20. Your time will come. I mean, just gotta know you. One, you gotta know your worth, and then two, just just keep at it. Like just keep making dope shit. Like someone's eventually gonna see it. You're eventually gonna be go to an event and someone's gonna see it, or like you'll talk to someone and then eventually it'll lead to one thing or another. It's just all about it's just again, it's about networking at the end of the day. When it comes down to it. I like for the past 5 years, I don't have a resume, I don't have a LinkedIn. It's all been like either
Word of
just
mouth.
messaging people. Yeah, it's just word of mouth.
Yeah.
Oh.
Um
It's like, hey,
but then like
Wheels knows how to do this. You
mhm.
want to hire him? Like something like that, essentially.
Well, it's just like I said at the beginning, like I see what companies are lacking, and I'm like, all right, or like not lacking, but like where I could fill in
Mhm.
if I wanted to leave. I don't plan on leaving TSM. I love my job
Mhm.
very, very much. When it
And
comes
he's
down to it,
listening
at the
to
end of
this.
the
He's
day.
like, your contract.
Well, I'm at the facility now, and people are probably listening. Um, but I think the best advice I would give myself is just keep at it, just keep doing it, just keep mastering or keep learning. I enjoy learning. At the end of the day, I want to know how to do everything on set. Like I know how
Mhm.
to do audio properly. I know how to cam up properly. DP, I kind of need to learn a little bit, but also know how to direct at the same time. I don't know how to AD. I
Mhm.
don't want to learn how to AD because you have to be an asshole on set. That's basically their job is to be like, okay, you only have this many minutes to do this, or you have to cut it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
just like, that's very stressful. But yeah, just I mean, like I said, I keep doing. I enjoy just doing and learning and doing as much stuff and just continue pushing the boundaries of what we can do in this space.
all right. So we have a tradition in our podcast where we
Uh-oh.
always get boba right before when we record. So what is your specialized boba? What like you go to boba if you drink, of course, boba.
I do like the what is it? I enjoy boba, but I don't like go out of my way and be like I need boba like 24/7.
Oh, that's a shame.
I know. I live in LA, like the boba capital of the world. I think what I enjoy is the uh what is it, the matcha? No.
Like matcha green tea.
Yeah, I think matcha green tea is really good. And then you have the oh my god. I don't know. I like I said, I'm 30. Like boba was not around when I was like younger, or like I never was around it.
Man. You're only 30.
I know. I know. I like the taro milk tea
Oh,
is
yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
That's a
that
good-
shit
that's good.
slaps.
Yeah, I enjoy that. But here's the thing, and please don't hate me for saying this. I actually don't like the boba balls. I just like the boba
Oof.
milk.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't like it.
Might
I
have
don't,
to scrap
I don't
this
enjoy it. I don't
episode.
know why. But like I said, I just started drinking boba like less than 2 years ago. Like
Okay.
I was never part. I never did it.
Every zoomer in a 50 miles radius just got pissed.
Probably.
Damn.
So, wait, have you been walking around? Have everyone just been calling you like the boomer of the set every time you're doing stage shit?
Like, are you like an older guy on set, or is everyone like around your age?
For the most part, I've always been like the oldest, but like my boss is older than me, and then a couple of people are older, but I'm pretty much in the middle.
Okay.
Okay. So, are you usually working around with people around your age and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is the end for the podcast.
I mean,
Anything else you want to plug in before we end it? You can plug in literally anything. Your Twitch, anything.
Well, I'm Wheels. I'm TD Wheels on Twitter. TD is Wheels on Instagram. Follow TSM FTX. Follow all the shit that we're a part of. There's gonna be some dope shit. 2022 is gonna be amazing. I can't wait for it. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be an exciting year. That's it.
Sick.
That's all I got.
All right. See you guys
Awesome.
later.
Well,
Love you.
Yeah.